One of the things I love most about living here is the diversity of ingredients I get to cook with. Today, we're featuring tasty and versatile shrimp in my Spanish-inspired tapas menu. I'm Chef Heidi Fink, and that's what we're cooking on the coast. Tapas are one of my favorite things to eat because every small bite offers big flavor. Today I'm going to show you how to make two of my favorites, Spanish garlic shrimp and gaspacho andaluz. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make the gaspacho andaluz first because it needs to chill before we eat it. And you can make it well in advance, so that's an advantage. So the only thing you need to make this recipe is a blender. It doesn't have to be a fancy blender like this, but just something that's going to puree everything. So gaspacho andaluz is a pureed gazpacho. If you've ever been to Spain, especially southern Spain, you've definitely had it. It's lots and lots of fresh vegetables pureed with olive oil, fresh bread, and then chilled and then served in beautiful bowls with a bunch of garnishes. It's a really cold and refreshing lunch or appetizer. So I've got here 1.5 pounds of ripe tomatoes. Now I want to just be clear, you need to splurge on really nice vine ripened tomatoes for this. This is a great recipe to make in the summertime, and if it's the dead of winter, this is when you splurge on those really expensive vine ripened tomatoes. It makes all the difference. So I've got 1.25 pounds. This is about 3.5 to 4 cups chopped. And you do not seed them, you leave the seeds and juice in there. Then next is we're gonna do some green pepper. Now, this is unusual. I'm not usually a fan of green pepper. It's kind of bitter, but for this dish, it's essential. Do not think to substitute a sweet red or orange bell pepper. This is about 1 medium green pepper. I do like to do this recipe by weight, so it's always the exact same every time. So I do 120 grams of chopped green pepper. Next, we have some peeled cucumber. This is long English cucumber. And this is about half a cucumber or 120 grams. Then 2 cloves of garlic. These are really big, so I'm actually just gonna use one of them, I think. You don't want this to be too garlicky or it's just gonna be a little bit overwhelming. Oh, I lost one of my cucumbers. And then finally for the big ingredients, we have some bread. So this is just some high quality French bread. You need about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of bread cubes, but in weight, it's 56 grams. Okay, the liquid ingredients in here are water and olive oil. So we're gonna use 1/4 cup of cold water. And then we need 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. So again, this is where the quality of the olive oil really makes a big difference. So you wanna get a really, really nice brand of really buttery, smooth, extra virgin olive oil. Okay, we're gonna pour that in. It doesn't seem like a lot of liquid, but don't worry, there's enough juice in the tomatoes and cucumbers that it'll blend up. And then we need a little bit of salt in there, teaspoon of salt. And we can always add more. And then the last thing, you need a little bit of acidulant. So one of the things I like to use is something called verjus, which is unripened grape juice, but that's very tricky to find. So a good substitute is white wine vinegar. We just use 2 teaspoons, so not too much. You don't want it to taste vinegary. It just gives it like a little hint of tang, you know? And sometimes if I haven't found really ripe tomatoes, sometimes I will put in some sugar, but this should be pretty good. All right, now wish me luck. Okay, so you want to puree it till it's totally smooth like that. Like I said, you can use any type of blender you want. I'm gonna give this a little taste just to make sure it doesn't need any salt or anything. It does taste better after it mellows and sits for a while. No, that's great. Oh, it's so good. It's just such a perfect meal in the summertime. So I'm just gonna transfer this to a large jar or container. And then we're gonna put it in the fridge. Wait, let me get a spatula and get all this goodness out of here. Then we're gonna put it in the fridge. And I'm just gonna talk briefly about the garnishes that would go in here. All right, I'm gonna just throw this in the fridge for a few hours. And I just want to show you the garnishes. So this is another really important part about this recipe, are the garnishes that you put on top. So we always have some chopped fresh vegetables and herbs, sometimes some chopped boiled egg. I have some yellow bell pepper this time, just to contrast with the color, some cucumber, tomato, sweet onion, so that we don't have that really harsh flavor from a cooking onion, some Italian parsley. I'm going to use my extra virgin olive oil. And that's it. The gazpacho is so easy to make. It's a perfect summer meal. And all you got to do is pay attention to the quality of your tomatoes and the quality of your olive oil. So stay around. I've still got to work on the Spanish garlic shrimp, but first I'm on the road.
Cooking on the Road is brought to you by Whisk Victoria, the small but mighty kitchen gadget store for every home chef.
I'm here at Coastal Black Winery on Vancouver Island. It's so gorgeous. And Justine here, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming.
She's gonna tell us all about it. Thank you.
Well, we are standing in our 25 acres of blueberries here.
Yeah, I see this.
Yeah, so this is actually where we will pick all of our blueberries, and we are actually a frozen blueberry farm. So they'll be produced and put into boxes, which will be then shipped to your local grocery stores.
Right.
So you can enjoy blueberries all season long from frozen. But we also make our wines and ciders out of the blueberries as well.
Okay, that's excellent.
My mother-in-law and father-in-law, Bonnie and Terry Ludwig, bought this farm back in the early 90s. And they are so passionate about dairy farming. But their kids, as they grew up, were not as maybe excited about the stinky business.
Yeah.
So they transitioned to the sweet business, and the fruit industry and berry industry and wines was, I think, still kind of new and novice. So I feel like that's been a really fun transition for the farm to be able to like go into the berry industry. And we make wines and ciders as well. So some of these varieties are so big and juicy. One of my favorites is actually called Duke. And their incredible flavor profile.
This is so good. Fresh blueberries are so good.
Yeah,
and I've had your berries before, like even frozen. They really maintain this flavor.
Thank you.
Can we check out the winery?
Yeah, we should definitely go and see it.
Okay, thanks. So this fermentation room, I see all these tanks. Do they all have different things in them, or are they just at different stages of fermentation?
A little bit of both, actually. So because we do meads, which is a honey wine, yeah, we have to have that in a separate tank, as well as some of the ciders and our sparkling wines as well. So different processes, as well as kind of if the berries are in season, we're producing a different wine during that time.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, and then we're gonna take all of these wines from the vats, and we're gonna actually go and bottle them, which we do all here on our farm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you get to enjoy it in the tasting room.
Can I taste some right now?
Yeah, we should do that.
Okay. I'm excited about
Let's
that.
do it.
This looks amazing. I see you've poured a multitude of drinks for me to
Yeah, we're
try.
gonna have a good time.
Yeah, apparently. So what have we got here?
So we're actually really well known for quite a few of our blueberry products. So one of our dessert wines is incredible. It's like a port style wine, but it actually tastes really good on ice cream.
Oh, okay, and it's made out of blueberries?
It's made out of blueberries. 21% alcohol, so a little higher. Nice just sipping after dinner wine. As well as our mead, which is a honey wine, and it's very smooth tasting, which I love. As well as our strawberry sparkling, which is kind of like summer in a bottle. I think you guys will really enjoy this one.
Okay. Are you gonna drink some with me?
Definitely.
Okay. Cheers. It's a perfect day for it.
Yeah.
That is so good. It tastes like strawberries.
Yeah, it's literally like you just freshly pick them right off the vine.
like strawberries and Prosecco or something, like summer in a glass, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
totally.
incredible. Okay, now over here, ciders.
Yeah, so we actually have our hibiscus cider, which I know you were really excited to try.
Yeah.
Has those nice floral notes in it and beautiful coloring.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The honey pear cider is made with our Big D's local honey.
Okay.
And then another big favorite is the blackberry cider.
I've never actually had a hibiscus in alcohol form. Oh, that's really nice. It's like a really fresh and crisp flavor. These were fantastic.
Thank you for coming and visiting us.
Thank you so much for having us. This was fantastic. I enjoyed every minute of it.
It was really fun.
I'm gonna have some more of this strawberry one.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome back. We've got the gazpacho ready, chilled in the fridge, so now we're ready to make that shrimp. The shrimp you have to make last minute. The whole thing takes like 5 minutes. So let's get everything organized. What I want to talk about first is what type of shrimp to buy and how to prep it. So I have got some wild shrimp here, and I always buy it with the shells on because it's fresher, has better flavor, it's less likely to be freezer burned. This was frozen. You can get fresh shrimp if you're lucky enough to get access to it. So to peel shrimp, what you're gonna do, most of the time when you buy shrimp, it's already cut along the back and deveined, so that makes your life pretty easy. You just have to peel it open like that. And then once you get down here, you just pinch. Oh, I'm making it sound easy, but it's not. There we go. You just pinch and pull it off. So I'm keeping the shells, and I will tell you why in a second. I'm just going to show you this one more time, and I'm going to talk a little bit about butterflying, why you want to butterfly the shrimp, and why sometimes it's already done. So butterflying is when the back end of the shrimp has been slit down. Usually you do this a little bit to pull out the vein, but often it's already done. And then if you slice it a bit deeper, when you cook the shrimp, it gets that nice kind of curled edges and looks fuller, and it just looks nicer on the plate. And the reason I'm keeping these shells is because I pop them in the freezer, and then when I'm ready to make stock, if I really need like a quick shrimp stock, or fish stock for any reason, like a chowder, risotto, whatever. This takes about half an hour with a few aromatics. Boom, done. So no need to waste them. I'm just going to wash my hands and then I'll pop that in the fridge. Okay, let me just get these in the fridge and then we will talk about our shrimp. Okay, so for this recipe, we need a few components. We need some chopped garlic, we need some chili flakes, and I'll talk about those in a second. We need some extra virgin olive oil, and we need some vinegar or sherry. So for the garlic, you can see this is like an obscene amount of garlic, right? But that's what we need for this recipe. It is called garlic shrimp for a reason. I'm just gonna chop one more clove just to show you what you do. So you need between 12 and 15 cloves of garlic for about 500 grams of shrimp. You can, make a bit less, like maybe 10 cloves if you want, but I wouldn't recommend going under. I'm gonna show you how to cook the garlic so it doesn't taste like a whole 2 bulbs of raw garlic. You wanna make sure that it's finely chopped and evenly chopped. You don't wanna have big pieces of garlic. You want them all to be about the same size. So there we go, we have like a lot. It's probably like half a cup or something. Okay, so let's get our 1/4 cup of olive oil in a pan. So I'm mixing this together in a cold pan to start with because we don't want to run the risk of burning our garlic. So we're gonna put all that, look at all that garlic. It smells so garlicky in here, but it's gonna be so good. Trust me. Okay, we're gonna turn this on, medium-high heat. So we're gonna mix that together. And so the secret here is that you wanna cook this garlic until it's starting to go just pale golden and it's actually starting to stick together. So what's happening when you do that is that the sugars are coming out of the garlic. So it's almost like you're roasting it. You know when you get a big bulb of garlic and you roast it and then it's kind of sweet afterwards? That's what we're doing right here. But instead of doing it in the oven for an hour, we're doing it in the pan in like less than a minute. And you want to have everything organized by your stove. Okay, so I've got my chilies. This is half a teaspoon of crushed chilies. And in Spain, they would use actually like a milder chili, probably closer to a New Mexico chili or something. I'm just picking what you could get at the supermarket, so crushed chili flakes. I'm also gonna get my salt. I'm gonna need half a teaspoon of salt ready to go. And I've got my 1.5 teaspoons of sherry vinegar or white wine vinegar ready to go. And the other thing that I wanna make sure to get is a platter. You wanna have this absolutely ready to go. So as soon as the shrimp is done, you can dump it on the platter so it doesn't overcook. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make with shrimp is overcooking it. Man, look at the garlic. Oh, it smells good. So you don't want to rush this step. The step where you're waiting for the garlic to turn pale golden and sticky, you definitely want to get it to that phase before you proceed. Otherwise, it's going to be too much raw garlic. You want it to be at that perfect stage of cookedness, okay? So don't rush. No matter how tempted you are, just hold your horses. And you'll be able to smell it too. Like right now, it still smells like a lot of really intense raw garlic, but the smell will start to mellow and transform. Okay, I'm starting to smell it transforming slightly. but I'm still not feeling the stickiness that I'm hoping for, and I'm still not seeing that golden color, so we're just gonna give it another minute. Okay, it's starting to stick a little bit in the middle of the pan, right there, but it's not quite reaching the edges, so I'm stirring this really vigorously so we can make sure that all of that garlic has a chance to cook properly. And you see how I'm using a really wide pan like this? That's also important for this dish, so that the garlic can cook evenly and the shrimp can cook evenly. You're not like steaming it in a big pot. So the whole time I've had this on medium-high heat, you're gonna have to adjust it to how it is on your home stove. And it's starting to smell amazing. Like it's starting to smell like really nice, rich, roasted garlic instead of like really acrid. Okay, so see that? See how we've got some little golden brown bits and it's starting to clump up. It's sticking on my spoon like that. Okay, now it's go time. So we're gonna add our chilies. We're gonna stir that in just to flavor the oil. Then our shrimp, which don't wanna come out. Come out, come out. And half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're gonna stir that up, okay? So the shrimp should, oh, this smells so good, you guys. So the shrimp should cool the pan down right away so the garlic doesn't burn. Oh, I seriously, like, I wish there was smell-o-vision, because if you could smell how beautiful, roasted garlicky it smells in here, you would just, well, maybe it'd be too bad. You'd be salivating, you wouldn't be able to eat it. So shrimp cooks very quickly, so you don't want to overdo it. There's two ways to cook shrimp: low and slow, high and fast. So we're doing high and fast right now. So how you can tell shrimp is cooked, there's several different ways. One is they turn from gray to pink. Another is that it curls up on itself, okay? So you want to avoid it getting super, super tightly curled because that can be a sign that it's overcooked. But you definitely want to lose that gray color, okay? So just keep going, stirring gently or continuously, because as you can see, like some pieces are cooked all the way and some aren't. So you want to make sure that you're stirring pretty regularly so you can get it all evenly cooked. Oh man, this really smells amazing. So you do like a teaspoon and a half, give or take, of white wine vinegar. Actually, my preferred is sherry vinegar. Again, that's a bit hard to find. Another thing you can use to get that sherry flavor is actually just straight sherry, a tablespoon of sherry. So sherry has like a really nice nutty sweetness that really pairs well with this, and of course it is made in Spain. So as soon as you feel confident that all the shrimp are cooked, and we're very close, I just see a little bit of gray on some of these. Okay, that looks great. Okay, so now we're just gonna sprinkle the vinegar on there. Ooh, look at that sizzle. And just stir it so everything gets a chance to mix with it. Okay, we're gonna turn off that heat. Okay, now oh, that smells so good. Oh, the vinegar, like that nutty vinegar smell is kind of coming off of here now. Okay, so now I'm gonna pour that onto our beautiful platter. There we go. We want to scrape as much of that delicious garlic juice on there, because one of the things we're going to serve with this is some sliced baguette or crusty bread to mop up these juices. Oh, yeah, look at that. This looks and smells amazing. Okay, let's get some bread. We'll get some bread to mop up all the juices. So I'm just going to slice this up, and then I'm going to put together the gazpacho, garnish it, and we will be ready to eat. We would just make sure there's enough bread. There we go. Let's get our little bread basket. Okay, I'm gonna put the shrimp here, and I'm gonna go get our gazpacho. And I have to get our gazpacho garnishes as well. All right, so let's get our delicious bowls, our lovely bowls. And hopefully, I just had this thought that maybe this ladle isn't gonna fit. Oh, barely. So I'm just gonna stir it up because it kind of likes to separate. Okay, so we're gonna go. So you can see the bread is the thickener in this soup recipe. So it's kind of got a thick texture. And if you wanted to, you could use a little less bread or a little more water, but this is pretty much how it's traditionally served. And it's usually served in a fairly sizable portion because it's actually usually served for lunch, but I sometimes like to do it for tapas. All right, so then let's garnish this up with some yummy garnishes. So I've got my cucumber. I'm gonna use this up. So as you can see, this probably makes like 3 or 4 portions, so you could obviously do more garnishes for more people. A little bit of sweet onion, yellow pepper, I just like this color, but it adds a little bit of crunch to an otherwise pureed soup. Oh, it's so beautiful. I just love it. Okay, a little bit of Italian parsley. And often this is served with also just a little bit of tiny minced up boiled egg as well. So it kind of just adds, like, you got the vegetables, you've got the bread, you've got the protein. And you know, in those hot countries, sometimes it's just, you don't want to be eating anything in the middle of the day, so this is just a perfect hot weather lunch. Okay, so drizzle just a tiny bit of extra virgin olive oil on there. Oh, I made it like a heart. That was an accident. I can't see. I can't replicate that. There you have it. So beautiful and ready to share. My Spanish tapas, gaspacho andaluz and Spanish garlic shrimp.
Pairings are brought to you by Liquor Plus. Discover the plus.
Tapas are not just about the food, they're also about the drinks. So I'm really excited to have Shannon Ward here with us again to show us what to pair with it. Thanks so much for joining us, Shannon.
Thanks, nice to be back. When I saw this menu, I thought, what could go better than a Vinho Verde? So this is a wine from Portugal. Yes, it translates to green wine, but
I was just gonna say.
It refers to the area that it's produced in Portugal, so in the northwestern corner. The grape varieties that produce this wine are really citrusy and mineral and a little bit floral, really like zippy and fresh.
Right, so good pairing with seafood.
Yeah, this particular producer retains a little bit of effervescence in the wine, so it's not sparkling, but it's just really quite fresh.
Okay.
And when I think of Vinho Verde, I think sort of salad and really fresh kind of vegetables. This is kind of a salad in a bowl.
Salad, a pureed form of salad.
Exactly,
Yes,
yeah.
for sure. Okay, well, I can't wait
these.
to try this out. Smell it?
Cheers.
Cheers, obviously. Cheers. Yeah, that's very fresh, very nice.
A lot of people would say this is kind of a cheap and cheerful sort of wine. It is a really great quality
Yeah, I was
wine.
gonna say, it doesn't taste like a cheap wine at all.
It's just a really fun wine to have with sharing plates.
Yeah, totally, I can see that. Well, you know, okay, now speaking of that, we gotta try it with the food. So here's the famous garlic shrimp. I've been wanting to try that ever since I made it. Well, I mean,
it smells very good in here.
Yeah, it does.
I've been really waiting to try this. But the little bit of chili flake with this wine, it's kind of perfect complement.
I need to actually eat a piece of shrimp like with it. That gives me the best taste. That wine complements the shrimp perfectly, like the garlickiness, the shrimpiness. I don't know, they're enhanced by this wine, and the wine actually tastes better with this. So that's actually a great pairing.
Great pairing.
Thank you. Okay, let's try this gazpacho. It's one of my favorite meals. I ate this in Spain every day. Oh, so good.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try that with the wine. Yep, you nailed it. Nailed it again.
Perfect. This is great. Yeah, this is really good.
Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me try this food.
yeah.
I've been really looking forward to it.
Okay, well, awesome. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I'd love to see your take on this meal as well. Take a photo and tag me on social media. I'm Chef Heidi Fink. The more you learn, the better it tastes. All right. I'm gonna have another bite of the soup, I think.
So you could even add like a spicy component to the
If you wanted
soup?
to, absolutely, yeah. You know what you should try is dip this bread in this like garlic juice over here.
I would love to.
It's so good.
This is a healthy amount of garlic you have in this plate here. It's
right.
great.
Almost as much garlic as shrimp.